Yeah, the big news, the worst kept secret in the footballing world. Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to Barcelona. No, no, no. He's going to Real Madrid. He's going to Real Madrid.
You
He's
never
going to
know.
Real. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's going to Real Madrid. He came out. He made a statement. Uh, the statement felt a little forced. I would say it didn't feel genuine to me. I don't know why. So he came out. He said that this is something that he wants to do. He wants to try and test himself out in a new climate. He's won everything that is there to win at Liverpool. He's been here for 20 years, and well, that's basically what he said, that he wants to try and see what he can do in Real Madrid. Now, there are quite a few things that we need to dissect and discuss about this. The first, obviously, would be that he's going on a free, which is the most painful thing for a Liverpool fan. So this is I think the sentiment of most of the people I've spoken to in my Liverpool group is that we don't mind Trent leaving. He's not the first player to leave Liverpool. He won't be the last. We all know that Real Madrid and Barcelona are above almost every Premier League side in the pecking order. When they come calling, their head is turned, especially if it's a non-English player. So first, it hurts that a Scouser, our vice captain, is leaving on a free. The simplest thing would have been that he signed a deal last season and he would have left this season for 30 million, 40 million, whatever it is. That's a lower fee that you're talking about. Coutinho is the best example. He left for a crazy sum that allowed us to get Van Dijk and Allison. The second talking point is him being a Scouser and doing this. We've seen Scousers leave Liverpool and join Real Madrid and it not really working out. Michael Owen is the prime example of this. Steve McManaman was partly successful. Trent doing this after speaking, like, and you'll see there's so many media bites outside. Like, if you just search Trent Real Madrid or Trent Barcelona, he's saying that I want to stay in Liverpool. I want to create something special. He's got a mural of himself in one of the streets of Liverpool. There have been talks of him being the next Steven Gerrard. And when you're in this club and they say this is like your home club, this is what you want to do, and you've been successful here, why would you do this? And there have been talks about him wanting to win the Ballon d'Or at Real Madrid, which I think is impossible for a defender to win these days, given how skewed the game is. I think the last person who won it was Fabio Cannavaro, and
Yeah,
and that
long
was
time
when
back.
Italy won the World Cup in 2006. So you see how difficult it is. And him saying that he's a Scouser and I want to emulate Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard could have gone to Chelsea, he could have gone to Real Madrid, he could have gone to Barcelona, he could have gone to Inter Milan. He stayed here. He won one FA. I think he won, like in his prime, he won one FA Cup and one Champions League, and I think another FA Cup or a Community Shield. But this is why Steven Gerrard will remain possibly the greatest Liverpool or the
Oh, of
greatest Scouser.
course.
Yeah, yeah. Because of this, he could have won so many things at Chelsea. Can you imagine the Chelsea midfield? You had Ballack, you had SCN, you had Lampard, and you had
Yeah.
Gerrard. It's insane. He could have played right wing, left wing, whatever. So, and the third part, which is, I think, the most I don't know. It's the most crazy part of all this is that every time a Liverpool player begged to leave and join a Barcelona, join a Real Madrid, we were a very terrible side. Luis Suarez went to Barcelona, we were average. We were only good because of Suarez. Coutinho, fine. That was at least during the Jurgen Klopp era where we were trying to get back to the top. So he left at a very important juncture, but it helped us. Owen, obviously, we were a terrible side under Oulier, and he wanted better football. McManaman, so you get the drift. This is possibly the best Liverpool side I have seen, obviously. This is possibly the best Liverpool side since the 80s. We are at the top of the table. We are exceptional. We've got a young team. We've got a great manager. The transition from Klopp to Slot has been seamless. When you're at the top, right, and there is a chance for you to build and grow. You've just seen Virgil van Dijk and Salah sign contracts and remain Scousers, basically. Why would you do this? And so this is the third part. Like, this is the strongest Liverpool side that he's seen, and he wants to give it all up to be at Real Madrid. And that's just, I mean, it just, I don't understand. The worst thing is that he's been planning this for a while,
Yeah.
because to leave on a free, right? That means that you've already made up your mind at the start of the season, or at least in January, that I'm not going to sign a deal. I want to
Yep.
play for Real Madrid. And just to round up my point, there has been a lot of criticism on Richard Hughes for the way he's dealt with all these contracts. But news, and these are rumors obviously, that say that the first thing that Hughes did when he got the job was to call Trent and discuss potentially keeping him at Liverpool. getting him to sign a new deal, giving him a deal which potentially made him the best defender in England. And then obviously there's the other lollipop that you would be the Liverpool captain in another 2, 3 years once Van Dijk and Salah left. So there was a very interesting comment by Robbie Fowler. This is the last thing I'll say. This is, I think, 3 or 4 months back when he was talking to the media or he was talking in an interview, and he said that he was certain that two of the players had signed a deal and the third one had not. And that is why they were not speaking about this in public, because there would be too much pressure, too much spotlight on that third player. Because you've seen that, if it was any other player in the place of Van Dijk and Salah, right, they would have signed a new deal in January and gone to Al Hilal, Real Madrid, PSG, whoever, for a gazillion dollars or whatever. They did not. And this was their time to do it. This is the last contracts possibly to make $1 billion per week or whatever it is. So their deals were done. Trent did not sign a deal, and that was known now. So that's the thing, that he's played with it. He's made his mind up a long time back. And the worst part was, just to round it up, sorry, is that whenever he played, right, he gave off these mixed signals. It's like that hot girl in college. She says that she wants to date you, and then she kicks you out of the club. Like, you remember, he scored a goal, and then he's showing like this to the fans or something, like the media's talking about him leaving. Then that goal he scored against Leicester, he took his shirt off, put it on the flag post, corner flag, and like, are you staying? Are you going? Just say something, man. What's going on? It made no sense.
Oh my God, that's the funniest thing I ever heard. Oh my
Like
God. No, that was actually a great rant, Adim, and you made quite a few great points. And the Robbie Fowler thing, I didn't know, but that was what was coming to my mind, right? That, you can blame Richard Hughes, but he clearly got the job done for two of them, right? 2 out of 3. So here, Trent Alexander-Arnold clearly wanted to leave, right? And to kind of play the devil's advocate, he is a Scouser and he's basically won everything he can with Liverpool. He's a 2-time Premier League winner, right? A Champions League winner, and God knows what else, right? And so I see the point. Maybe Real Madrid has started doing this, right? They try to seduce these players. Same thing with Mbappe, made him sign on a free, and I'm sure they're giving him like a 450, 500K a week contract, just like Mbappe got. So that transfer fees basically is becoming his contract. Go ahead.
No, surprisingly, the news coming out is that he's only getting paid £150,000 a week post tax, which is not that much. That's around
That's
seven.
nothing.
Yeah,
That's
that's 7 million pounds.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's actually a good thing.
No. So what happens potentially is that he's getting a huge signing on fee, obviously. And the other thing is that, do you know who his agent is?
No.
It's his brother. So yeah, so his brother is also going to get a huge amount.
Man. I hate this family agent thing, man. They always screw up things for the players. I've seen
So just
that.
to add more fuel to the fire, when we were playing the Carabao Cup final, right, and Newcastle were beating us 2-0, there's a clip of Trent's brother in the stands, and he's smiling and laughing and guffawing when we're losing. So yeah, so his brother's obviously now going to make a good chunk of money, and I think the person who's actually the biggest problem in all this is Jude Bellingham. Because Jude
I was going to say that.
Yeah,
because he's probably going there to play with Jude, to play with Mbappe, to play with Vinicius. I mean, you can't really kind of hold that against him, right? These are probably the top 3, like, out of the top 5 or 6 players, the 3 or 4 of them are up there, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I don't, as I said, nobody has an issue with him leaving to join Madrid or Barcelona, because you understand that, you want to challenge yourself. Obviously, going to Madrid is a bigger challenge because there's the limelight. There's obviously the history that club has. I think apart from Liverpool, United, you talk about Real and Barcelona, and maybe the 2 Milan clubs that are the most prestigious, that you would say, at least in terms of history, winning the Champions League and all that. So that's perfectly fine. The issue is the way he dealt with it. He knew he wants to leave. As soon as Jurgen Klopp said that, I don't want to be, or I'm not going to be in charge, that like clicked into Trent's head that, I'm not going to be here also. Fine. What he could have done is what Alexis McAllister did. Like, he had a release clause in his contract, which is just £35 million. £35 million is nothing for a player like Trent. But to counter that, and this is what you rightly said, is that I think this is the right tactic by Real Madrid to attract players. You rightly said they got Mbappe for free, and they lured him with obviously a big financial package. They've done the same with Trent. But also I feel that they would not have spent something like 100 million or an 80 million on a player like Trent because
Yep.
of his defensive liabilities. And for once, a lot of Liverpool players fans are happy that we do not have to defend Trent for his lack of defensive ability. Like that's it. We
That's
can
funny, dude.
well the
Because that
elephant.
happens with you all the time.
Yeah.
Because whenever I say, "Oh, Trent was," oh no, he
No,
was
no, no,
okay.
no, he's fine. So the three people I think who are the most happy with this are Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, and Allison. Like
Oh man,
go
that's
there,
funny.
defend. Let's see when Lamine Yamal takes you to town or something like that, and let's see how the Madrid media goes after you. Because unless they plan to shift him to midfield, I think he's going to have a terrible time as a right back in La Liga because he's not the best defensively. Now I can openly say it with a smile on my face. So you can pretty much
So
imagine what's going to happen.
I think that's a good way to end this podcast. Right? One final question to you: do you think you guys need to replace him, or is Connor Bradley enough?
No, we do need a right back because Connor Bradley, I don't think, can play 2 games in a week. He picks up frequent injuries. So there is talk of the Leverkusen guy, Primpong, coming in. There are some other names, obviously, or FSG could do the FSG thing. Joe Gomez will be our right back with Curtis Jones deputizing for him, and Connor Bradley's there. But again, FSG have said they're going to splash the cash. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this Trent saga is going to be interesting. The hate watches that we're going to have at Real Madrid are going to be intense, man. I mean, like, I've been hate watching Arsenal and United for years. City, obviously. Now I've got another team to keep an eye out on Real Madrid.
Got it. Got it. Awesome. I think on that note, we can end today's podcast. Of course, it was a lot of fun, a lot of interesting things to discuss. We'll obviously come back next week. A couple of very crucial games for Chelsea. And for Liverpool, it's basically party season now. An extended
I'm not
party
gonna
for the
watch.
next.
I'm not gonna watch the Liverpool games with that intent. I'm just chilling, man. Like I was
Exactly.
laughing at the
Exactly.
goals we conceded.
Yeah, I think that's a nice place to be, right? Of
Yeah.
course. But yeah, Chelsea obviously have three important games coming up. Newcastle this weekend, huge game. Both of them are basically in a shootout for the top five, followed by Manchester United in the league, and then our last game is with Nottingham Forest, who are also trying to get into the top five, right? And we also hopefully will have a Conference League final after that somewhere. So again, as usual, thank you for watching our podcast. Do like, comment, share. Let us know, what you thought of the game, what you thought of Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving Liverpool. And of course, as usual, have a great day and we see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Yo, bye bye.